talking to her over tea, and then she mentioned about monitoring and evaluation. And that's the bit of life that I get very scared of. Because in the olden days when I was in school, I was the worst mathematician that school ever had, but the best historian that school ever had. Because one day a teacher came to class and said, 2x plus y is equal to 3. What is the value of x? That's the day I left mathematics. Because for me it makes sense that x had become 3 and so another way to do geography. My names are Wanjala Wafula. Wanjala means hunger and Wafula means rain. What a contradiction, is it? Yes. I was born when people were very hungry, yet it was raining. And the worst part of it is that it was Christmas Day. So I was born on the 25th of December when people were hungry and it was raining. My background is journalism. So I'm a journalist. I write books, I broadcast, and I was editing newspapers. But the interesting part is my mother went to maternity 6 times but gave birth to 12 children. So we had 6 sets of twins, boy, girl, 6 times. Wow. And my two sisters had, the last 2 years, my 2 sisters have given birth to triplets. Now we are scared of what will happen. So if some of you are facing, if your tribe or clan is being endangered, please talk to me. We can give you enough votes to win the next general election. The whole idea is, while I was a journalist working for the Nation newspaper as a features writer, my sister Rosalie, who was a nurse, was gang raped and killed in my own village. And she was sexually abused and gang raped and killed in my own village. And the people who were then, the elders said the value of the head of a girl in our village those days was 14 heads of cattle. And the villagers said, as long as we give you 14 heads of cattle, we leave our people free. And my whole clan accepted, My whole clan accepted and said, no, we take the 14 cows and bury your sister quietly. I refused. I refused because I couldn't take the fact that my twin sister had been killed and the people who killed her we knew, and the clan and tribe were defending them. So I engaged the police, and now 3 years on life imprisonment, 1 died in prison. So then I started the Coexist initiative because I thought gender-based violence was supposed to be, violence against women and girls was supposed to be something that was alien to men. We were socialized in the villages. I come from Western Province. I'm a lawyer. So who are men lawyers again? Of course, I'm not asking you to raise your hand. So how many lawyers are here? So as we are socialized, we live every August of an even year, we are taken to the bush. Boys are taken to the bush for 8 months. They don't come home. They are taught the essence of being men. They are taught how to live without men, how to violate women, how to beat up women, and then they get circumcised. And then they are told they are now men. And I went through that. And until my sister was sexually abused and killed, I was an ideal man, defined by my people, finding identity from what I was taught. But it turned me. So then I started the Coexist initiative and said there's a need for men to be involved in issues around gender. Because before then, issues around women empowerment was a woman's problem. They had gone to Beijing, and the Beijing platform was being popular around the world. And women all over the world were rising up to claim for their rights, and men were rising up to stamp down the women. And after the first day, after the first week, I resigned from the nation to start the Coexist initiative. I'll talk about my experience later. I was only given 30 minutes, so I'll rush through. I went back to the nation and met one of my editors and said, I've decided to mourn my sister the rest of my life, and I'm resigning today to go and start an organization. He said, so start an organization to do what? I said, an organization to work with men, boys, and communities to stand up for the rights of women and girls. He said, you know what, you cannot mourn your sister the rest of your life, you can't abandon your career. You go and mourn your sister, you're just a sick man that needs help. And he said, okay, tomorrow I'll give you a story. And true, the following day he gave me a story because we suggested we needed to have a meeting in Nairobi to mobilize men to talk about gender coexistence, that genders can coexist, that people can live together. That was our first coverage. This was 12 years ago. Our first coverage was a second banner story on the Nation saying, a group of battered men to meet in the city. According to the editor, I had been so well battered by either by the death of my sister or by nonsense around women. And he said there's this movement of men coming up and we regret. So in short, fast forward. So we started this organization, and when we walk into women's organization meetings to say, we are men, but we also want to talk about gender equality, all the men will tell us, leave. Because you are men. We see men as rapists, we're the ones torturing us. We don't want any man in our meetings. So the women will throw us out of meetings. And then we will go to the men to say we are men, but we are here to say all genders can exist. And the men will chase us away, they say, you're all women. So the women didn't want us in their meetings, and the men didn't want us in their meetings. So for 4 years, nobody wanted us in their meetings. So, and coexisting didn't get any funding, you know? And so for 4 years we were thinking, what is it that we can do that can make the whole world see things the way we see? Because for us, for example, one of the things we were doing then was gender-based violence. For us, gender-based violence was a man's problem. It was men who were 98% perpetrating the violence. It was the women who were the victims and survivors. And yet the survivors wanted to be left on their own. And the men wanted to remain on their own. The Beijing platform, which had come then, it started the feminist movement, which was saying women can stand up on their own. The masculine and the social civilization processes were raising men to become men. And so there was a big divide between the genders. The women were being armed by donors and development partners and governments, and the men were being armed by traditions and customs and cultures. And so there was no gap. And so for 4 years we were standing in the gap. And nobody listened to us. Because for us, at Coexist, we believed that our time was going to come. And so we had to look for some innovative ideas. And perhaps that brings me to what Petro is bringing us here. How do you adapt to fit? How do you adapt to contextualize? How do you make innovations relevant to target groups? How do you make a situation that is, because we live in a world where, anyway, my underlying factor is, number one, I think globally, and I've been to 72 countries around the world, globally, there's a big disconnect between development, technology, and consumers. There's a big development between policies being developed and populations benefiting. And the world is infatuated by this thinking that what works there will work here. And there's even a worse thinking that what works in Nairobi will work in Kiambu. Where do you come from? Isiolo. Where do you come from? Village. Say it loudly. It doesn't mean, there's nothing wrong with saying Kiambu. Nothing wrong. Where do you come from? Nandi. Wale. There's a whole disconnect, and we have this notion, this thinking. So I'll start my prism. My basic submission point number one is that we have a disconnect between the proposals we write, the projects we implement, and the people who benefit. You can be an expert in monitoring and evaluation, and you can produce the best reports of monitoring and evaluation. But if you can't answer this question, then you are doing the wrong thing and you are in the wrong profession. So assuming that we have some little piece of paper, could you please help me answer this question? You don't even have to write. It's just, can I?
No, I think this is right.
Oh, that's it. So if you assume you have this letter, what is the missing letter? Write it on a piece of paper and pass it to me if you have a piece of paper. What is the missing letter? Anyone with an answer? Probably we need to open it up. What is the answer?
That's an E.
That's an E.
Yeah.
No. And for sure it's an E. Any other suggestions?
And you.
It's a U. Why a U?
Love you.
What else? What number? Which other letter do you think?
It's an F.
You think it's an F?
Yeah.
Why F?
But it completes and makes an E.
It completes and makes an E.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What anyone else? What is the missing letter here? How many of you do not even know what letter it is? Or how many of you don't even want to take the risk of saying there's a letter somewhere? So you see, all of us are wrong. Because we are thinking about the ordinary and the obvious. We are thinking about what rings in our heads when we are writing programs and proposals. We are thinking about the laws, the things that you do. In journalism, we believe in the 5WH, what, when, what, then how. So once a story fits that, it becomes a bill. Here in programming, be it research, we're still thinking about what I call the inverted love pyramid. The guy who started discovering the science of keyboarding was called Lovi. So the letter I was looking for was a name called Lovi in my head. You are seeing love in your head. So there's a disconnect between what we write and think, the programs that we run, and the realities on the ground. I was looking for Lovi. So that confirms principle number one, which is that meanings are in people. Principle number one, when you're writing a story or designing a program, you have to listen to the people you are writing for. The problem with development projects is that they tell us what they are thinking without wanting to find out what we are thinking. So perhaps, because I know, I looked at the agenda, and the agenda had very interesting things saying at the end of the day we must develop 10 commandments. The interesting thing is that I'm not overly religious, but don't even know if I'm religious, because I spent a lot of years in studying theology on the side. Ended up being a Muslim at some point, a Buddhist at another, traditional African believer. Now I'm just a believer myself. But the whole idea is the word 10 commandments, even the 10 commandments that Moses himself brought, was unable to keep them, isn't it? So I have an alternative. I've changed the word 10 commandments to 10 strategies. Because 10 commandments gives it a connotation. So I'm going to quickly give you what I think is a strategy. I'll give you a real life example of how that strategy works, and I'll give you the consequences of the same strictly in 15 minutes. So the first strategy that has enabled us to successfully roll out our programming is what we call circumstantial or spot-on strategy. Circumstantial or spot-on strategy. What is it that programs can do to be able to benefit on circumstances? What is it that you can do in terms of programming that you can be able to stand up and say, this is a situation that has happened, and how do I maximize on this situation to create a bigger impact? How many of you remember the day when the American embassy was struck in Nairobi? Which year was that?
Yes.
So in 1998, we had started doing some work. And then the terrorists struck the American embassy. How many people were killed?
Many.
How many? How many people do you think? 800 people. About 800 plus. And out of the 800 people that were killed, then HIV/AIDS in Kenya was killing 2,500 people. So I called a team of mine. We sat in a small room we had, and I said, this is an advantage. We need to maximize on this. So I did a press release to say we had more information about 3 bombs exploding the following day. We sent the press release to all the newsrooms, including TV China. Then the Chinese were not invaded our town like they are doing now. Sorry, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Nah, I don't even know who they are. Anyway, so we send out this press release, and we said we are aware, we have for fact that there will be 3 bombs exploding. That was 3 days after the bomb had gone up. All the intelligence people were, the following morning by 9 o'clock, our small office, we had journalists from all over the world. We had people from the intelligence sitting there, they're saying, they were just waiting to arrest us. They were saying, if you produce nonsense, they were going to arrest us. They were sitting there. People in my office thought I was mad. But then when they all gathered, the journalists gathered, I came there and said, ladies and gentlemen of the press, we apologize, we are sorry for the bomb that has just killed 800 of our people. And now we, as a country, we are mourning. We should not be divided. We should always fight terrorism. But as an organization, we are knowing, you know that 3 bombs will be going up tomorrow. Because HIV and AIDS is killing 2,500 people every day. That's equivalent to 3 bombs going up every day. Nobody will believe it. And then the media said, the media, all of a sudden the story went up. We started catalyzing coverage around HIV/AIDS. Can you imagine 1 week exactly after the story came out, HIV/AIDS was declared a national disaster again. It got the mileage that it needed by capitalizing on the American bomb. So as programmers, we need to be thinking outside the box. Let's not see terrorism flattening the Westgate and killing people, and we keep hiding in our houses. There's a way we can maximize that on how our program. I don't know whether that is adjusting or adapting. Number 2 is called a take advantage situation. Take an advantage situation is where when you're in a situation, you need to be thinking about what is it that I can take advantage in terms of programming. Be it an innovation you're coming up, be it some smart bit of research. What is it that you can take advantage of? I'll give you an example. All research had said Somalis cannot take girls to school. UNHCR, which works in all the camps in the Dadaab, had said for 10 years they were only having a retention rate of 4% of girls in primary schools. All 96% of the girls were falling to child marriages and just disruptive education. And so they had given up. UNHCR was having 400,000 boys in schools, and they only had 20,000 girls. And they sent out this open consultancy, call for consultants. And we put in, together with the World University Service of Canada and Build Trust Kenya, and coexist. And as we suggested that we only wanted to work with men and boys to promote girls' education. And so UNHCR, you know, when you go to Dadaab, we were stretching all the way to Somalia. You have these 6 jeeps in front of you and 6 jeeps in front of you, behind you, and have all these bodyguards, and you look like a Mike Jackson or something, and I'll come out and wonder, what are they interested in? We did our homework and noticed that the Somalis, because of the many years of bombardment by the Americans and the coalition forces, Somalis naturally fear aeroplanes. Okay? So that's we realized we fear aeroplanes. So we concocted a project, a strategy that was going to use an aeroplane as an entry point to girls' education. Okay? So we went with these people, and they were elders, and so Kenya Airways has a lady pilot. I don't know how many of you have flown on Kenya Airways. She's called Amina. She's the best pilot in Kenya Airways. And UNHCR also has a small plane that takes us to the camps. She's flown by Abida. She's 24 years old. So we invited her to come with us. And we went on this tiny little plane. And when the plane was coming down, all the elders scampered because they fear aeroplanes. And then the 2 girls came out. We sat there with the elders, and the elders, anyway, I nearly got killed there anyway, so it's not a very good memory. Because when they cracked a stupid joke, all the elders were sitting there, and I said, oh, you are very nice elders. Very nice elders, because you don't carry guns. In Nairobi, they say every Somali is a terrorist, they carry guns. But all of you are nice. I'm not seeing any AK-47. little did I know that the Somalis have a way of carrying AK-47. You don't see it. But they have such the shoulders, their back is so well split that an AK-47 fits. So you have this elder sitting tall like this, but there's an AK there. And then one man said, so you're calling us women? I said, no, you're not women, but of course you're not carrying any. In 2 minutes, all of the 48 elders had AK-47. Yeah. So I had to quickly change the strategy. I said, you're even better. Now that you even have AK-47 and you're not shooting anyone, they took back the gun. Okay? So we sat there and we were discussing and we were talking about the value of a girl. And you should have seen how they were saying the value of a girl. And by consensus, the value of a girl came to 4 camels. They said as long as a girl can fetch 4 camels, she's good to marry. And I said, if that was consensus, that's fine. But I had my secret weapon, which was the 2 pilots, the 2 female pilots. So I told them, elders, before we dispersed with our 4 camels for a girl, I said, you saw that thing that made you run in? That thing was being thrown by this girl. She's 24 years. And she's a top flight pilot for UNHCR. She's the one who brought that thing down and landed it safely. And this girl has been able to buy 100 camels for her father. And when the father is sick, she takes the father to America for treatment. And she has also bought him a Land Rover so that he can ride in this terrain. Then I brought Abida, the big girl who flies the big one, I brought to Jeddah and Ureta. I said, this one flies the big ones. The big ones carry many more people than you. And she has sunk a borehole for her father. So that all the camels from the neighbors come to get water from here. So his father, when he has TB, he treats her. And he's built him a beautiful house. The total silence in that meeting, you couldn't believe it. And the elders were busy asking them in Somali to confirm if indeed they were Somalis, and if indeed they were Muslims, and if indeed they are the ones flying the plane, yes. We left. The chief simply told us to leave. We thought, and when I left there, I thought I was not going to get my money because I thought I had moved. 6 months later, we were called back to the community because there was a problem. The problem was that when the elders left, they went and made a declaration that there was going to be no child marriage. All the girls who had been married, some with babies, had been forced to school. 400,000 girls were returned to school in less than 6 months because of one single meeting. And we were awarded by the UN as the most innovative idea that was ever created in the world. And we received the global award. So what starts as it's about maximizing, taking advantage of a situation. But yet in programming, we sit in the communities and say, this is the policy, it worked in Malaysia and it has worked in Asia, so it should work in my village, so you can go to hell. You know? So that has helped us. Number 3, for us at Coexist, what helps us to run in terms of adapting to things and innovation and everything, is addressing the fear of the unknown. The blueprint of an Africa is the fear of the unknown, whether that unknown is God, whether that unknown is the ancestors, whether that unknown is the unknown itself. You can actually be, my grandmother would not, if she was alive today, she would not sit here with Kelvin, because she believed all white people are gods. And even when we convinced her that no, they are not gods, she was saying, those people are gods. I saw one with smoke coming out of the nose. She didn't know that they smoke. You know? So the Africans and people around the world have the fear of the unknown. And so for us, we always go to when we go to a place, we capitalize on what they fear and turn it around for our own advantage. We went to the people called them in Jikenda. They call the Kaya elders. How many of you know the Kaya elders? The Kaya Bongo and all these elders who live on the coast. They live in the forests. They don't believe in civilization. They don't know anything about HIV. Neither do they even want you to talk about it. They believe that everything they do must come from their ancestors. So they go on the graves of the ancestors and they drink a lot of beer, traditional. And then when they are very high, they ask their musician, who is also very high, to sing a song. And that song, he must talk about something they want to hear. So I asked them, how do you get information here? They said, oh, our ancestors speak to us. So how does he speak to you? He has to speak to a musician who must be inspired by a drink. So I decided there and then I was going to be a god. Because if he listens, if the man must listen, must take alcohol to be inspired, I was going to provide alcohol. And I also provided him with a message. And the message was, so they were, I said, can we meet tomorrow? Then we can have this conversation. I sneaked the guy they trust most into a local place. I pumped him with enough whiskey. And I told him to go and tell the elders the following day quietly that child marriage and fighting of women and everything was ancestors were annoying. And there should be no child going to be married again from that village because the village will collapse. After whiskey, I went to the village, I was sitting innocent, he came. So when they got very high, he was also getting very high himself. So he actually stood up to make a declaration even before he was invited. He said the ancestors can't wait. The ancestors are not going to wait for you to think. The ancestors are tired. This nonsense about marriage modern men has to stop. This nonsense about beating girls has to stop. And the elders believe that. Do you know, ever since we've been recording, no single girl has been married in the Kaya forest for the last 5 years, documented by the government of Kenya.
Nice.
Not one. And all the elders up to today, they had a drum beat. They used to play some drums called Tuniko. That means now men are free to do anything they want with women. Now that drum beat is no longer there. So we were able to address that by the fear. For me, my fifth commandment is going to be listening to the feeble voices. We program at the policy level, isn't it? You sit down and you have these big NGOs, the UN agencies. Thank God there's not. Is there anyone from the UN if I say something nasty? Just raise up your hand. Thank you so much. So we're going to talk about the other big donors. These big donors, you know, these big brothers. You know, they come with these policy briefs, isn't it? They come out with these policy briefs. They say, we did this in New York, and it's been happening in South Africa, and it's happening everywhere else. And they sit down and they say, oh, we need to talk to government. And the government has to have line ministries. I like the two things you're doing, representing the marginalized. But you have government that quickly passes laws and legislation to protect children, the Sexual Offences Act, the women's empowerment, the power bill, they pass legislation. Then the same people who are passing legislation are the same ones who violate. The same people who are saying, stop FGM, female genital mutilation, are the same people funding their women in the villages to stand up and protest against